Hey everybody, welcome to another episode here on Talkdaily, where we're going to be talking about a subject that is happening here in the States, and that is the catnappers. Yes, catnappers. Them stealing them cats. And if you have not been a victim of this crime, good for you. And if you are, you have my condolences, because it blows. That happened to me in my Honda Accord. Yeah, I've been first to put my hands up, and I walked to my car, started my Honda Accord. Mind you, I left my car for what? Well, like not even 15 minutes. Went to say hi to my mom, check on my mom, say what's up, moms, do the thing, and I'm getting out, go to my car, start up my car, and all of a sudden my Honda Accord sounds like a V8. I'm like, do I have a V8 in my car? I ain't got no V8 in my car. Whoom, bum, 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 bum. So, taking a joke aside, I gotta exit the vehicle, look down, and obviously you can see the oxygen sensor wired. I mean, the guy who stole it, the guy or girl, I don't know who the hell this is, they did a pretty nasty job of doing it. Because I'll explain it to you why mine was nasty. See all these flanges right here? And this is a flex pipe and there's a flange, right? The dude was so lazy that he chopped everything. So he didn't like chop it from here or here. He actually went beyond the flange that connects to the headers, meaning that my header now it just looks like like that. At the end of, if you don't know, underneath the car, all these things meant to come together, right? That's why I have these joints with little triangle with bolts, the little holes is meant to join pieces together. Your exhaust is not just one solid piece, so you have components. The way he cut it, he basically made it where you can't even just get a new piece and bolt it in, because you need to weld a flange to the header, a flex pipe, a flange to the header that's from the engine down, and then your exhaust piece, exhaust, let's just say it's an exhaust, right? It's a long pipe and you have a muffler. He did the same thing, so it was really nasty. It took a lot of energy to get it fixed, and you need a catalytic converter because you won't be able to pass smog. Is there a way to have your car without a catalytic converter? Yes, I'm not going to explain to you why. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but because it's not good for the environment. But unfortunately, you need to find a way to make sure they don't steal your cat. And I'll explain it to you how to do it. The best way to do it is just basically weld a bunch of, like an X bar across your catalytic converter. I'm not saying it's going to be impossible for them to get it that way, but it's not a quick job at that point, because when they access your catalytic converter, they're going to see, even if they chop it, there's like an X bar on it, and all you're doing is just making it more inconvenient for them to target your car. That's it. I'm not saying that there's one solution for that. Some people, they etch it. I guess if they etch your VIN on it, it depends, because when the thieves steal it, they're not just gonna take it and they're gonna drill it out. They just sell it to somebody, and whoever that person is, and they sell it to recycling. That's how the system go. And then before I go any further, this article is from Car and Driver, and it's by Bozy Tatarevic. Sorry to butcher his name, but anyway, I have a link to this article in the description below. It's a nice little read. I know a lot about the subject. I know a lot about cars and whatnot. No, I knew a lot, but what I'm trying to say is, all the gray hairs on my head. I've been around a little bit, so I kind of familiar, unfortunately, with this business, and it really blows, because all you get in the end of the day is like a little piece of paper with a police report, and you just sitting there like out of your pocket fixing the car. And anyway, this article is kind of nice because it kind of gives you a little bit of explain it to you. If you're not familiar with this subject matter, kind of explains to you what's been going on. It's a good read. I really encourage you guys to go ahead and read it. But if you don't have time, it basically explains to you that the cost of those precious metal that's inside of a catalytic converter, which is the reason why they're stealing it, right? It went up. And the theft of catalytic converter went up to 325% increase from 2019 to 2020. And that's 2020, we're 2022. Okay? And it explains to you what a catalytic converter does, which is, if you don't know what it does, it is an oxidizer. It just helps you oxidize, basically helps burn whatever left fuel that you have. Because no matter how clean of an engine you have, internal combustion engine that is, some of the fuels is not completely burned, because through the cycle of the ignition cycle of the engine, some of the fuel wasn't completely burnt. So, and those things are quite harmful. So the catalytic converter helps oxidize, burn the leftover fuel. So you're trying to get as much water, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen gas, not in a more complex form, which is the NOx, right? So, things are like, basically trying to get hydrogen, carbon monoxide, and nitrogen oxides. Anyways, This article goes on explaining it a little bit. Has a link for a video how this thing works. But let's get to the point. What happened? Why they're stealing it so much? Because the price of these precious metals skyrocket from, for example, the rhodium went from went from $2,300 per ounce to $14,000 per ounce. So those increase in prices was what led to that increase in theft. That's like big numbers, attention grabbing numbers, saying, something went, it peaked. They keep talking about rhodium didn't stop in 2020 as it peaked to a price of 27,000 per ounce in April of 2021 and still remain well above those 2019 level with current price at $11,000 per ounce. Again, they're not drilling it out, taking these precious metals out. They're just getting maybe like $500, but they're down $500 worth of, like, takes them couple of minutes to, not even a minute to, chop off a piece of metal and bounce. So it really sucks. So if you have a SUV, here they talk about some of the vehicles that are really hitting, and that's a mid 2000 Toyota Prius. I had a Honda Accord, so I don't think there's really a safe car. It just pay attention to where you park your car. And as I said, I think the best thing you can do is just kind of weld some piece of metal to the catalytic converter. Understand that some vibration might occur, so you take it to a muffler shop. They know what they're doing, and they were able to kind of rig a kind of a design where at least it makes it more inconvenient for them to steal it. Okay, I'm not saying there's a bulletproof way of doing it, but as a way, as I mentioned previously in this video earlier. Moving on. We're talking about the mid-2000 Toyota Prius being targeted in the theft, and that's not by accident. The article goes on saying they contain one of the most precious metal-packed catalytic converter, which is known as the GD3 model. Currently shows the model is a bestseller and shows a market price of over $600 for it at this time. So basically, they're talking about a Chevy Trailblazer. I think anything have a lifted truck. I will tell you right now, I lifted Tacoma, any of those trucks, because you can just go underneath and chop it. And another thing, if you're not aware of, a lot of cars have a two-stage catalytic. There's a stage 1 and stage 2, and sometimes the stage 1 will be like right where the header is, so they can't get to it, but the stage 2 will be in the downflow of the exhaust underneath the vehicle, and that's when they're gonna jack it and chop it off. Newer vehicles, they manage to do everything inside the engine bay, so the only way for them to chop off the header is to open your hood and get into the car and chop it, which is not really at that point, might as well just steal the whole car. So, not every new cars I don't want to say new cars don't have to worry about it, but this is mainly a theft for vehicles. As I said, cars would have easy access to the catalytic converter, and it depends on what car you have or what model. The easiest way to do it, if you ever go to the mechanic, if you have the chance to jack up the car, lift it carefully, don't follow proper procedure when you're jacking up a car, but go underneath it and just check it out. Where's my catalytic converter? And as I said, you can, my recommendation, what I did to my car, I went to my muffler shop, and my friend and we just basically welded kind of like an X bar around the catalytic converter. We didn't weld it in a way it resonate, like when I'm driving a car, I don't have vibrations because anyway, so we kind of fix it in a way to where it's, as I said, can they steal it? Yeah, of course you could steal it, but he has to go in there and kind of like do some job. The bars are thick. If you don't know about the catalytic converter, look how thin right here. I'll show on the mouse. See how thin that thing is? It takes 1 second to cut through it. With jigsaw, it's gonna make a lot of noise. Okay, it's gonna echo a lot. So the good thing about it is you're gonna hear it. You can't tell me I didn't hear it. Now you'll hear that thing. That thing is loud because of resonating. This thing acts literally like a trumpet when you're cutting through it. It's like, bing, it's very loud. So, but it's quick. They're going to chop here and just, take the whole thing off. So yeah, it's really unfortunate. I don't think it's going to slow down anytime soon. So it's one of those things that just be aware of. The article, as I said, mentioned the mid 2000 Toyota Prius being targeted, but I'm telling you right now, it's any car that has a catalytic converter that is in the down the flow of the exhaust where they can actually get to it from underneath the car. Any of those vehicles, your catalytic converter will be a target. So hopefully this made somebody aware. It's It's really horrible. I don't like these crimes. I don't know who the heck likes any crimes, but it's one of those petty crimes, and it's just so annoying to fix. Because if you only have one car and this is your commuter, and it's like, can you drive your car with a chopped cat? Yeah, it's gonna probably most likely go on limp mode. It's gonna have a check engine light. He's just gonna, it's okay. You can drive. It's not gonna do harm. It's gonna be really stupid loud. And as I said, like driving it a short distance just to go to the muffler shop and get it fixed. And as I said, catalytic converters are not cheap. An OEM replacement for my car was 2,300. So and as I said, I had to get headers. I had to go to the junkyard and get headers, and we had to weld a flange for the exhaust from the other side. So it really pain in the ass. If you don't want to have a catalytic converter, as I said, there's a way to do it, but I'm not going to tell you how, because it's the emission coming out of the tailpipe without a catalytic converter is so toxic that you didn't fix anything, and it's toxic for yourself, literally. So nevertheless, even the environment. So as I said, you can drive it, just get in there and get it done, get it fixed. But yeah, it's really one of those things that it just suck. It is what it is. So hopefully this video kind of made you a little bit aware of it. And again, I don't really encourage anybody to come out, because when the police showed up, they asked, "Hey, did you hear anything?" I'm like, dude, I parked my car, went all the way to my mom, an apartment complex. I didn't hear anything. So I didn't hear anything, unfortunately. I know it's loud. I'm pretty sure the neighbors heard, but at that point, nobody was around, unfortunately. And so yeah, just be aware of this. And as I said, I kind of give you a couple of hints. If you have it, you etch your VIN on it. I don't know if etching the VIN is gonna make a difference, because those thieves, they're gonna send it to a recycling place, and the recycling place, I don't think they're gonna check the VIN. They know these people are thieves. So the VIN, sketching your VIN on it, I don't think it helps. You can do it, sure, why not? Anything helps. But as I said, it's securing your catalytic converter to your vehicle in a more secure fashion, where it's going to require I understand that it's going to make it difficult to access the catalytic converter, to remove it if you don't want to do repairs, but I think that is a small price to pay. You can always, with a torch weld, remove those welds and do the maintenance. Yeah, is it work? Yes, but it's better than spending $3,000, $2,500, $2,500 on a cat. So it's up to you. And if you have an electric vehicle, you don't have to worry about any of this. So yeah, it is what. And if you have a newer vehicle, as I said, if the catalytic converter is inside of your engine bay, again, you don't have to worry about it. You probably have other things to worry about, like payments for a brand new car. So anyways, that's us, people like us, we have old cars where we have to deal with. So anyways, I've been blabbing on for a while, but I hope that this information helps anybody. And I don't know what this gentleman is, but I'm pretty sure he probably works in catalytic converter. As I said, hopefully you don't encounter this problem, and it'll never be a problem for you. But if it is, again, you have my condolences if you are a victim of the theft. And if you are any better ideas how to prevent it, won't you share it with us in the comments below. Anyway, as always, thank you everybody for watching. Be safe out there and have a great weekend, and thank you again for watching. Take care. Bye bye.